Hello, it is now February 25 and I just thought I should do a little recap to recap my 24, get that out the way, pack it away nicely, reflect on what happened or what didn't happen, and go from there. And then 25's, it has been a whole new year. So, to start with, 564 miles in the year. Was this anywhere near what I thought I was going to? No. Is that still a great number? Yeah. Happy with that. My longest run of the year was 51 miles. So 50 miles race time, 51 on my watch, and every mile counts. So yeah, that was the Goring Gap 50 miles. Out of all those 500 miles plus, my average pace over the whole year was 12 minutes 43. But I still did 564 miles, so there we go. They were my stats for the year. 3 races, just over 500 miles. It's not what I expected the year to look like. It's not what I thought it was going to look like. But it is what it was. It was what it was. It is. It happened. It's happened. 2024 has happened. It's 564 miles. I did 3 races. I did another marathon, but it was one of those like looped ones that you go around. So this one was run with Run Believe in Kent. So did a accidental marathon. Came with a really big medal, which is, if you like medals, that is a solid medal. It was only an accidental marathon because I ran it with Becky, who I've also ran with later in the year, and I'd just been really ill. I think I just had COVID, and I was like, oh, I'll do a lap. I've paid for it. I'm fine now. I'm just coughing a bit, but you know, it's been lingering for a little while, so I'll be okay. I'll do the loop, I'll get the medal and the goodie bag. But then, you know, everyone's on course, really encouraging, oh, how far are you doing? And you're like, I don't know. And then before you know it, people are like, well, you've only got 2 more miles, 2 more laps to do until a marathon. So you're like, we might as well do that. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Just running with Becky and everyone being so encouraging and so cheerful. Recommend if you just want a little race or a little thing to run, just for a bit of training and to just have a nice day out, really. So there's quite a few companies, but I've only ever ran with them. One of my main races of the year was the 50 miles, so I really wanted to get my qualifying time after I messed up forgetting what I needed the year before. So I really wanted a qualifying race for the 100-mile race that I was going to do. So I found Goring Gap Ultra. It was relatively cheap, and my only thing was they didn't have anywhere for a drop bag, so I do a lot of my races and things with public transport in mind, or, you know, just, yeah, mostly public transport, so I don't have anywhere safe to keep a bag. And I was like, oh, where can I put my bag? And we don't have checked baggage. And I was like, well, I'm not taking it on 50 miles. But they were like, you can leave it in here, but it's not going to be secure. And I was like, well, that's fine, because I've got literally like, I'll take my bank card with me and I've got nothing of value in there. So that was fine. And the ladies on the check-in were very nice. So I did keep my bag there. It was really good. It was the Goring Gap, so quite a lot of it would actually be, I say quite a lot, not the 100 miles, quite a bit was along the Thames Path and then back down again, and it was just a really nice race. It was a good weather. I ran with people, I chatted to people, I left aid stations being told I was far too cheerful, but then they didn't see me 2 minutes after I left the checkpoint, so, you know, but I did it. I did my first 50 miles, did it in my qualifying time that I needed. Nice little medal, and just really chuffed with my 50 miles. Really proud of myself. My training was awful. If I was going to do it again, 50 miles, I would just train a bit more. I think that's that thing where I'd paid for the race and I knew I'd miss so many training runs, and not even just individual runs, I'd miss like weeks at a time, but I was like, I've paid for it, so I'm going to do it, and I did. Perhaps not the smartest idea, but I did do my 50 miles. So then 2 weeks later, because I apparently can't figure out when things are in a calendar, I signed up to another ultra, which was the Three Castles 50k with Embrace Ultra down in Kent. It was their first year running. I thought, oh, that, you know, that goes from Rochester, that's easy to get to. Perfect. I encouraged my friend who lives that way to run it with me. It was going to be her first ultra. Well, it was her first ultra. So we ran it together. We did 3 castles 50k, so they go nice little wooden medal. It was a good race. It was just mostly along the footpath along the river. I saw 2 out of 3 castles, so that's not bad. It was quite a warm day, but no, it was good fun. It's a nice ultra for those doing their first ones. People on the checkpoints were nice, chatting to people. Just all round a good little race. So we did that. That was 2 weeks later. So Becky absolutely smashed that run. She did fabulously. I, on the other hand, felt terrible after. My leg hurt for most of it, and I couldn't walk on it after the car ride home. It took me so long to like warm up enough to like walk on it. But you know, I was fine. I've just ran quite far. I've just done quite a lot recently. We went on holiday, me and James. We went away, had a lovely time. For the most part, it was fine. There was a couple of times walking where I had like a really sharp stabbing pain, and I was like, that's not good. But you know, just didn't run for a bit, and then eventually I did a little run, and it just hurt straight away. And I was like, no, I need to get this sorted. So I went to a physio, who then found out it was a stress fracture. So that sort of changed my whole running plans for 2024. I took the idea that, you know, I'd rather be fine now, sort myself out now, and then I can run longer, rather than, you know, doing a race this year and then messing up for later. So I took it easy. I did quite a bit of not running, joined a gym, did a lot of cycling, got a bike. Not a huge fan of cycling, but got a bike, meant I could go places quicker, which was nice. And just took some time to rest and recover, do the exercises I was given to help strengthen things, and didn't really run. And then I started to slowly build up again at the end of the year. So that was in about July, end of June, and end of June, July, that he was like, oh, you've got a stress fracture. So that took it quite easy. And then eventually started building up again. Although at the end of 2024, I also moved back out of Bristol because my contract with my job finished. So that was another big change. So now I'm just trying to be more consistent. That was a pretty solid 2024. Things didn't go right, but I've learned from that. I'm going to train more consistently, train a bit better, work on some strength things, and generally just put a little bit more effort in. Like, I think I did put effort in, but I definitely didn't do as well as I could have done. I definitely struggle with getting out the door a lot of the time, even though when I'm out and about it's fine. So, you know, got things to work on. 2025 is a whole new year. During the year, I got some running badges made up. I think it came from the fact that I just love a badge. I do a lot of scouts and guides, and I have a camp blanket, and I just get badges wherever I go and from different things. But also, lots of people have swimming badges, and I did have a friend give me a swimming badge once for a birthday, but I never got them growing up. You know, you don't always need a medal. You don't need to do a race and get a medal. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool if you could like award yourself badges for different distances you got to? So it started off with having a 5k, 10k, half marathon, and ultra marathon, because I couldn't work out how to split that down into different distances without getting a lot of badges. And then after a while I was like, but you know, you all start everywhere, don't you? I remember being thrilled when I ran my first mile. So I got a mile badge, look how cute he is. And also Couch to 5k as well. So I'm really happy with how they turned out. So if you do want a badge, message me, and I'm £2.50 each, pretty good deal, or I can do a deal on bulk, but there we go. Got quite a few badges. I just love them. I've sewn them onto the back of my running pack and everything. So yeah. And also, if you see me at a race, probably if it's an ultra race, if you talk to me, I probably do have some ultra badges shoved somewhere in my pack. Now, they'll probably be a bit sweaty by the time you find me, but, you know, don't ask, you don't get, and I might have one to give to you for free. You know, or you might just have to chat to me for 5 minutes on the run, which I think is still a pretty good deal. I do love a chat on a run. I was supposed to do Hope Trail Festival 2024, and I just missed the cut-off for transferring, I'd long missed the cut-off for deferring, and I just missed the cut-off for swapping it to another person, but I'd messaged them well, it wasn't just the cut-off, I think it was like the day. So I messaged and was like, is it too late now to swap to another runner? Because I couldn't work it out from the dates or something. And then I said why, about my stress fracture. And they very kindly let me defer it to this year, so 2025. So I'll be doing that next year, which I'm so thankful for, because I absolutely loved the 12-hour version when I did that and was gutted that I couldn't do the 24. But it was the sensible decision. I also was supposed to do the 100 miles in October, but as soon as I got the stress fracture, I knew that wasn't going to happen, because, you know, I don't want to make things worse. I actually want to run when I'm older, so I was like, let's not. So I volunteered at that race instead of running it, which was actually a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed that. So I did volunteer at a couple of park runs, because I find them quite difficult where I was in Bristol to get to, and then I volunteered at 2 Centurion running races, so Thames Path 100 and Autumn 100, and then I also volunteered at the Triple Trail Embrace Ultra 1-2. My traffic control and runner control, letting the runners through, oh, it was great fun. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Love a bit of volunteering, can't beat it really. Everyone's so nice, and you know, I like to run a few races, so I just think, you know, give it back by volunteering a little bit and having a good time. You just meet so many good people. Like, everyone that volunteers are runners, they are involved in it in some aspect, whether they're family or friends, and everyone's just really nice, and it's such a good time. Just such a good time.